Hey everyone, it's your girl, Maddie here. And today I'm talking to you about Silent Universe from the Toronto-based Slave Agent and thrash. Thrash, 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 frickin' thrash. I'm not articulate right now. I don't know how to do this intro right. I don't know what to say. It's thrash. I thrash. This thing thrashes, it slashes, it pummels, it's thrash. Thrash, thrash, thrash. The opening title track just hits the ground running with these very theatrical bends and speed metal leads before bursting into these just hella gnarly riffs. The vocals have this wonderful irreverence to them while also being really catchy and fun and just has some hooks. The riffs are just big and brash, but there's also a certain amount of melody attached to them. It's really cool how they're able to pull that off. On Forced to Suffer, you get that really satisfying chugged, palm muted sound that's so, key to thrash, but there's also a brightness to it that lets the leads really stand out. It just sounds really good. The way the drums are just perfectly locked in with the guitars the entire time. It feels like you are constantly being punched in the face at a rapid pace. Such as in Ripped in 2, there is this sci-fi dystopian theme that Slave Agent seems to be tapping into here with these eerie synths that lead into the track. It seems very Voivod inspired with its whole packaging. Silent Universe, on one hand, feels like a great tribute to the golden age of thrash, but on the other hand, it feels completely modern and even futuristic. It's anything but cookie cutter. On Betrayer, the force by which the main refrain is repeatedly delivered, everything is lost. It makes the track feel big and urgent. Definitely my favorite cut on the record. And also just because of its sheer speed and militancy. This is not the most technical thrash album I've ever heard, but instead it emphasizes great riff craft and dynamics and feel. They just do an amazing job of tapping into this mood and this attitude. Slaughter at the Gate offers no brakes. It just flies forward at full speed and power, giving you no forgiveness to the very end. There is this very peculiar but satisfying solo that plays with all these strange sounds and effects. I love it. It's alien shredding, and I'm so here for it. On Thrasher of Souls, the band demonstrates this impressive turn of phrase. One line will drift into more of this melodic phrasing just to burst right open again into this very speedy, enraged part. It just keeps you so engaged. There even is this more slowed down kind of groove metal section in the bit for some variation in texture, and it actually works very well. The closing track, Alien Tomb, is this 10-minute multi-part epic that gradually builds throughout its 2-minute introduction. There are plenty of face-ripping, speedy parts that bring the heaviness and the loudness to an 11, just like any great thrash album can do. I said this was not a super technical album, but this last track makes an exception with this very impressive soaring lead with all these acrobatics. It just turns that fretboard inside out. And once again, there are these very memorable riffs that are as sticky and melodic as they are punishing and defiant. And they ended on the synths. I really like these synths. They are good synths. There are plenty of generic thrash metal albums out there. This is not one of them. In fact, I'd say this is a model for what I want thrash metal to be like in 2024. This thing is mean, it's creative, and it just sounds good, with the nastiness being a great part of why it sounds so good. Even if you aren't a huge fan of thrash, I think you should check this out. It varies itself enough to where it's not just like any other thrash album you may have just turned on and then turned off. There's plenty of calls to also just vintage heavy metal and speed metal. I don't know. I just enjoyed the shit out of it. And I think you might too. And hey, those are my thoughts. If you like what I do, enjoy my content, hit that like button. It'd mean the world to me if you consider subscribing. I have a Twitter you can follow. Link to that is in the bio of this YouTube channel. Leave a comment. I love getting to engage with those. Thank you to my patrons. Yep, I have a Patreon. No pressure to give that way. I don't expect anyone to actually give financially. But if that's a way you want to support the show, keep it more sustainable, get access to some exclusive content, it'd be greatly appreciated, and that is an option for you. Hey, you watching right there, keep it metal. My name is Maddie, a.k.a. Beaver Mosh, and I'm signing off.